So how do you analyze the situation in China in terms of change, the sort of central motion of history? Where do you think it's going, and what do you think the right posture is for foundations like yours, civil society, but also government policy?
Well, we would be happy to be engaged in China, but we are not welcome. And therefore, and in fact, we actually have some projects in China, but we are extremely careful in disclosing what we are doing and making the authorities aware, and very often they disallow it because they have a very efficient political police, and I consider myself as Typhoid Mary. In other words, the people whom we help, we don't help because they immediately are put into a different category and are much more closely examined. So it's better for us not to be active because we could be hurting the people whom we would want to help.
And what's your prognosis? You suggested that you're somewhat optimistic about Russia, Putin aside. How do you view?
Well, it's longer. I mean, that's a longer term project.
But China?
Well, China, I think, is at a crossroads because it has been extremely successful, but it has to change its growth model. And if it's successful in making the transition, it could open up, become more open. It's because the reforms are they are market-oriented reform, economic reform, but political reform is not allowed, and that's an imbalance. For China to become a more open society, it needs political reform. But now it's in a difficult transition, and actually power is being centralized in the hands of the president, and I think it will not, if it's successful, and I think there's a reasonable chance that it will be successful. Then hopefully there'll be more room for political reform, and then you could have a new world order where China would be a very important member of a major power, and that would be the positive outcome. And if it's the economic transformation fails, then the fallback is to hold power, hold the country together by having some external conflict. Conflict with, obviously, China and Japan are set up for that. And then you have a very dismal prospect for the world.